Hi, I'm the Red Shirt Lady. Today I'm going to start a new segment called What's in My Fridge. And there really isn't much in my fridge right now. And so during those times, that's when I need to figure out what can I make out of what I have. And that's what I'm going to teach you. So let's see. We have some leftover chili. We have leftover turkey. Leftover turkey broth. Leftover venison roast, some breadcrumbs, some apples, cilantro. Looks like I've got cheese and cream cheese, some leftover corn, an onion, venison broth, some leftover carrots from a roast. This is cookie dough and that stuff to make muffins out of. Well, I think I know what I'm going to make. I've decided that I'm going to make turkey and dumplings with the things that are in my fridge. So I have the leftover turkey, the broth, the corn, the carrots. I pulled some peas out of the freezer, and I've already chopped the half of onion that was in there. So I'm going to go ahead and chop up this meat so we can use it in the soup. And this is turkey that I fixed after Thanksgiving just because turkey was cheap. And you may as well make as many things as you can out of it while it's on sale. Alright, I have chopped up all the turkey, put it in the pot with the onion, and now I'm going to put this broth. I got this from the pan drippings of the turkey. I just added some water to it, stuck the pan back in the oven for about 20 minutes, and then I poured that through strainer into this, and then I refrigerated it. And so you can tell it gels really well. That is a good sign. The gelatin comes from the bones. We're going to put this all in here. And the bones have lots of nutrients in them. And so if it gels really well, you can tell you've got a lot of that in there. That's where the saying about chicken noodle soup being good for you when you're sick comes from. It actually has a little bit of truth to it because the gelatin and the nutrients from the bones, it's the broth that has the medicinal quality. So I'm going to actually add a little water to here. I can get all of that out. And then I'm going to add enough to make this a good soup level because we want it to come to a rolling boil before we add our dumplings. I'm going to go ahead and add all of the vegetables. Just part of my peas. I don't need the whole bag. And this is a soup. It's not the kind of dumplings where you roll them out like the southern style dumplings like noodles. It is the fluffy kind that float on top of the soup. So that's why you can add vegetables and make it just like a regular soup. Add some salt, about a teaspoon. Put the lid on that. Put it on medium-high heat. And then we'll come back to it. Okay, so this is what our soup looks like. It's boiling really well, so now we're ready to put the dumplings on. It only takes a minute to make the dumplings. So over here, I've got all the ingredients. We're going to put dry first this time. I got 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. I use unbleached. 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to add our wet ingredients all together. We have 1/4 cup of oil, vegetable oil, and 1/2 cup of milk. And this has to be a certain consistency, so sometimes if I haven't measured the flour just exactly, this is one of those finicky recipes like this, is a little bit too thick. It shouldn't be like biscuit, it should be a little bit wetter, more like drop biscuits. So I have to add a little bit more milk. So this is about right, and it makes that squishy sound. And they are ready to dollop on top of the boiling stew. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in while it's boiling, and then we're going to turn it down. You want about 1 tablespoon at a time, maybe a little bit more. As many dumplings as you can. Makes it so it goes around more. More people get them. Now you notice as I put this in here, it's going to make the temperature go down a bit, and we want to turn it down some to about medium, just so it simmers, or medium-low, while these are cooking. Otherwise, if it's a rolling boil, they will just disintegrate into nothing, and you'll have a nice thick soup, but you won't have any dumplings. I've done that before. Last one. Okay, so we turn it down. It still has to be boiling. We put the lid on. That helps keep that heat in, and we do not want to lift it until it's all done, which is between 10 and 12 minutes. And you can tell there'll be a lot of foaming on top, but you can see the lumps that are still formed in there. And then you're ready to lift off the lid in about 10 minutes. Alright, it's been 10 minutes. I'm going to lift the lid. See how our dumplings fared? It looks really good. You can see separate dumplings, but some of it falls off into the bottom and makes the soup thick. That's exactly what you want. So, go ahead and dish that up so you can see what it's like. And then as that cools a little bit, that soup will be thicker too. So I usually dish it up like this and then let it cool.